The auction block reeked of desperation and cruelty. Eleanor stood chained at the center of the platform, her 7-foot frame hunched beneath energy shackles that hummed with suppressive force. Her silver skin, marked with the intricate patterns of her people, bore fresh scars from the slavers' discipline. The Vorath Empire had conquered her homeworld 3 cycles ago, and now the survivors were scattered across the galaxy as property. Jasper pushed through the crowd of alien bidders, his human features drawing curious glances. Humans were still relatively new to this sector of space, their planet having achieved faster-than-light travel only 2 generations prior. Most species considered them weak, their physical capabilities unremarkable, their lifespans brief. The galaxy had learned to dismiss humanity as an insignificant footnote in the grand ledger of civilizations. But Jasper knew something the galaxy had yet to understand. Humans didn't play by the established rules. Eleanor's eyes met his for a fraction of a second. They were violet like distant nebulae, and in them Jasper saw something he recognized. The ember of defiance that refused to die. She had been a warrior once, that much was clear from her bearing despite the chains. Her people, the Caliph, had been renowned for their honor and strength before the Vorath swept through their systems like a plague. The auctioneer, a grotesque Hurlon with 4 arms and a translator implant, gestured toward Eleanor with theatrical flourish. Behold, a Caliph female, prime breeding age, trained in combat arts. She will serve well in mines, pleasure houses, or gladiatorial arenas. Opening bid 10,000 credits. The crowd erupted with offers. A Vorath merchant raised his crystalline hand. A Skreth warlord clicked his mandibles in interest. The bids climbed rapidly. 15,000, 20,000, 30,000. Jasper waited. At 50,000 credits, the bidding began to slow. The Vorath merchant and the Skreth warlord were locked in a territorial display, each trying to outlast the other. The merchant raised to 55,000. 60,000, the warlord hissed. Jasper raised his hand. 100,000 credits. The auction hall fell silent. Every eye turned toward the human. The auctioneer's translator sputtered before recovering. Did the human say 100,000? You heard correctly, Jasper said, his voice carrying across the chamber with quiet authority. He pulled out a credit chip and tossed it onto the auctioneer's podium. Verified funds. I believe that concludes the bidding. The Vorath merchant stepped forward, his crystalline form refracting the harsh lights into rainbow shards. Human, you overstep. You cannot afford such a purchase. This is surely a mistake. Jasper smiled, but there was no warmth in it. The chip is genuine. Scan it if you doubt me. The auctioneer's greed overcame his suspicion. He scanned the chip and his 4 eyes widened. The funds are legitimate. Sold to the human. Unacceptable. The Skreth warlord chittered forward, his combat exoskeleton whirring. I will not be denied by a species barely out of their primitive system. Human, withdraw your bid or face consequences. Jasper turned slowly, and something in his movements made the warlord hesitate. Humans had a reputation now, whispered in the darker corners of galactic space. They were the species that had ended the Zelkor incursion not through superior technology, but through sheer, unhinged determination. They were the ones who strapped explosives to their ships and rammed them into dreadnoughts while laughing over open channels. I don't believe I will, Jasper said quietly. See, there's something you need to understand about humans. We're very particular about our property, and once we claim something as ours, we don't take kindly to others touching it. The warlord's mandibles spread in what might have been a sneer. You think your reputation frightens me? You are one human among hundreds of... Jasper's hand moved faster than the warlord could track. A plasma pistol appeared from beneath his coat, its barrel pressed against the Skreth's primary breathing orifice before anyone could react. I think, Jasper said conversationally, that you should reconsider your approach. You see, my people have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. But we also have another one. Don't start none, won't be none. You're currently in the process of starting some, and I'd hate for this to end poorly for you. The Vorath merchant raised his hands in a placating gesture. Human, surely this is unnecessary. The Skreth meant no. He meant exactly what he said, Jasper interrupted, not taking his eyes off the warlord. But here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take ownership of my purchase. Anyone who has a problem with that can take it up with the Terran Trade Commission. I believe they recently established an office in this sector. I'm sure they'd be very interested to learn about an unlicensed slave market operating in violation of the Sentient Rights Accords. The auctioneer's face went pale, an impressive feat for a Hurlon. Now, human, there's no need to involve authorities. This is a legitimate business operating under Vorath sanction. Vorath sanction means nothing in neutral space, Jasper said. And we both know the Empire's been looking for an excuse to crack down on independent slavers, cutting into their profits. Should I make a call? The hall erupted in nervous chatter. Jasper had struck at the heart of their operation. The slavers were pirates, not official Imperial merchants. If the Vorath authorities learned of them, they'd be eliminated as competition. The auctioneer gestured frantically. Release the Caliph to her new owner. Immediately. Jasper holstered his weapon and climbed onto the platform. As the energy shackles deactivated, Eleanor collapsed forward. He caught her, surprised by her weight despite her weakened condition. Her violet eyes studied him with confusion and wariness. Easy, he said softly. I've got you. Why? Eleanor's voice was rough from disuse. Humans have no need for Caliph slaves. What is your purpose? Jasper helped her down from the platform, keeping himself between her and the crowd. Who said anything about a slave? I just paid 100,000 credits to tell these bastards to go to hell. Consider it an investment in interspecies cooperation. Eleanor stopped, forcing him to pause. You purchased my freedom? Technically, I purchased you, Jasper corrected with a slight smile. But where I come from, we have a bit of a problem with the whole slavery thing. Had a war about it once. It didn't end well for the slavers. So here's my proposal. You come with me, I get you medical treatment and proper food, and once you're recovered, you're free to go wherever you want. No strings attached, but why? Eleanor repeated. What do you gain? Jasper looked back at the auction hall, at the cowering slavers and angry bidders. Because someone once told me that the true measure of humanity isn't how we treat those who can benefit us, but how we treat those who can't. And because those chains on you, they're an insult to every sentient being in this galaxy. He extended his hand. So what do you say, Eleanor of the Caliph? Want to see what humans are really about? Eleanor stared at his hand for a long moment. Then slowly she clasped it with her own. Her grip was weak now, but Jasper could feel the strength that would return. I accept, Jasper of Earth, she said, and when I have recovered, perhaps I will show you what the Caliph are truly about. As they walked out of the auction hall together, Jasper couldn't help but smile. The galaxy was about to learn an important lesson. Humans didn't just protect their own. They protected anyone they decided was worth protecting. And once a human made that decision, heaven help anyone who got in their way.